Hello. I got asked today, why do you coach? Why do you coach? Why do you do it? What do you get out of it? Um, the reason that I coach, like I always wanted to help people because I used to feel pretty crap, for probably 30 years. I had depression, anxiety, insomnia, panic attacks, anxiety, no self-esteem. It was all pretty terrible, and I was making some dumb choices. So part of why I wanted to coach is because when I finally got out of that, I knew how good it felt, and I wanted to help others feel better too. And a lot of things that I had tried, and a lot of the traditional things that I tried, hadn't worked for me, and I could see that they weren't working for anyone else. Like traditional talk therapies, there's definitely a time and a place for counseling and psychotherapy, absolutely. But for me, I think it was more believing in myself. A lot of people that come to me say that they're just afraid of everything, or they don't know how to do anything. Because I think, as kids, we're taught to get back in our box, basically, right from primary school, you're colouring in a giraffe purple and orange, and the teacher says, no, they're brown and yellow, or yellow with brown spots. So we're taught to think within certain boundaries. One thing I notice when I talk to people in the US in particular, if an American says, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that, everybody cheers them on and says, oh my God, what a great idea, go for it, what can we do to help you? In Australia, if you say you want to do something, whether it's an adult who's never played the violin and says they want to play the violin, or someone who wants to do something completely different and out of the box. My girlfriend's kids wanted to do cosplay, which is where you make all these costumes like Disney and go and, play dress-ups, but you're adults. In Australia, people criticise each other a lot for, wondering, what if I did this, or I'd like to do that. And, we're just stuck in boxes right from a very young age. And the reason that I coach is because it's so much fun watching somebody come to me and say, this is the area of my life that I feel stuck in and I don't know what to do. And they're literally dragging themselves around like they've got concrete boots on. And then when you start asking a lot of questions, it's amazing the look of shock on their face, because then they go, wow, maybe I could. Or what if I could? And then we get more to the how they could do that. Because everything just seems too big, too overwhelming, and everyone's running on automatic because that's what we've been taught to do. With respect to all the school teachers, schools are a sausage factory, and if you're a T-bone, you're screwed. They only offer certain subjects and steer you in a particular direction, so that in your life, if you want to do something that's really interesting and out there, there's not so many opportunities to do it. So I actually have a lot of adults who come to me and say, look, I've always wanted to do such and such, whatever it is, and I never did. And when you ask why, or when I ask why, they will often say, well, everyone thought it was a stupid idea. And then when they follow that, they have a lot of fun. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't make money out of something that you're interested in, because you're having fun and you're doing something different. I have people who talk to me about how they accept that they're big. Oh, I've got a big frame, it's in my genes, I've always been told that I'm just always going to be big. And it's sort of different from the people who are putting weight on, and over time, they get that creep over time because of lack of self-esteem and that sort of thing. These are other people who have been told from a young kid, oh, you're going to be big like your mum, or you're going to be big like your dad. So they accept that. Remember what I said earlier last month, that your reasoning mind doesn't kick in until you're about 7 or 8. So if you're constantly hearing Auntie Mary say, oh, you're going to be big like your father, your unconscious mind goes, okay, because you've got no other reason to not believe it. So you let the weight creep on and you don't make an effort, and then it's just too big and too scary. So I love working with those people because It's just about changing their beliefs. And again, with people who have put weight on to protect themselves, which is what I did. I've been up as far as 92 kilos and as low as 57 kilos, which is about 10 or 11 kilos lighter than I am now. I've just in the last probably 6 months lost 20 kilos. But that sway was me, just hating on myself either way. So I actually got really big because of self-loathing, and I was miserable, and making choices that were putting me in a situation where I was miserable. And then when I thought, oh well, that's not working, I still hate myself, so I'll lose weight, and went the other way, and I was still miserable. I've worked with someone who had like the gastric band on. She lost a phenomenal amount of weight, but because she didn't deal with the emotional issues and what she believed about herself, she actually found ways to eat more and put the weight back on, even though she had a gastric band, and had later confessed to me that she had actually gone back into the surgeon and asked for the band to be opened up a bit. So, it's really fascinating what people believe. If you don't deal with the emotional stuff and get rid of what you believe about yourself, you're going to sabotage yourself all of your life. And that, as I said, that can be something around weight. It could be something about relationships, or both combined. I had a chat to a beautiful man a few days ago, and he's enormous by his own measure, but he said he was hurt very much by a past partner, and she said to him, you're a horrible person, and you can imagine all of the crap. So he put on heaps of weight. And I said to him, so tell me what the guys at work, what would they say about you? And he said, oh, they all love me. And I said, oh, okay, that's interesting. So, he works with 27 people, he said. And I said, so what do they all say? Oh, they love me. I'm really popular. I run the raffle every month. And I said, what else would they say about you? And he said, well, they would say I'm really kind and I help people out and I'm quite funny to be around. And I said, okay. And what about your friends and family? Oh, they love me. So he's let one person, the words of one person, impact him so much that he has decided that she's right. And all of these other people who love him so much and just want him to be well, what their opinion is of him doesn't matter. He's just believing one person. And it's so sad. And when he realized it, you should have seen the look of shock on his face. And he said, oh my God. And it was inside of asking all of those questions that he realized what he was doing. And we went a little bit deeper into it. So that's why I coach, because you get so used to believing what you believe, and nobody ever tells you that you could believe something else. Because what you're doing, whatever it is that you believe, I'm hopeless, or I always give up, or nobody's going to want me, or I could never get another job, so I'm not going to try, or, all men are going to hurt me, whatever it is, all the things, I could never learn to play a musical instrument. All of those things that we believe, no one ever challenges us on the negative stuff we believe about ourselves. But they'll challenge us on the positive stuff that we believe about ourselves. Isn't that interesting? So that's why I love to coach, because watching someone believe in themselves, watching somebody realize what they've been doing to themselves, being able to develop a relationship where someone trusts you so much that they will ring up and say, right, I finished that book, what else do I have to read? Or I've done that task, what's next? What do I have to do next? And watch them grow and get happy and healthy, and do things that they never thought they could do. That's why I coach, because I love it. I know how good it feels, and I know how good it looks. And when I have people ring up and say, you won't believe what I just did, or I got the job, or, I've lost 5 kilos, or, oh my God, I think I've met the girl of my dreams. That's why I do it. Because I feel like the world's biggest cheerleader. It's a very private, personal victory for them. But to be able to support somebody to do that after years of not believing anything nice about themselves, that's pretty amazing. So this month in February, I've actually got a competition running where I'm giving away half a day with me. And I'm really excited about it. I came up with the idea on the weekend, and I thought, it would just be so much fun to give someone half a day of all of that questioning, of all of that support, book lists, hypnotapes to listen to, like make it highly personalized so they get a really big shot in the arm over a few hours together. And then, follow up a month later, give them some tasking and homework to do. That's fun. That's so much fun. So I thought, why not give it away and see what happens for them. So I'll pop the link in the comments here. And if you know somebody who could benefit from half a day of coaching, like a good intensive session to really get to the bottom of what's going on for them and, maybe help them discover something else that they want to do with their lives, let them know about this, because it's going to be a heap of fun. Okay, so I'm going to sign off for the night. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, pop it in the comments. If I don't know about it, I will send the suggestion to one of my colleagues. I've got some awesome colleagues who've trained in everything that I've trained in, and they can talk about it on one of their lives, or I'll have them in as a guest speaker, okay? So have a fantastic night. I am heading to Melbourne tomorrow. I forgot to tell you, heading to Melbourne tomorrow for a week. I have a couple of spots free on the weekend for one-on-one coaching. So if you're in Melbourne and you want to spend some time with me doing some one-on-one face-to-face coaching, because I do a lot of coaching, probably 90% of it via video, get in touch with me. Give me a call or send me an email or PM me, because we could do some work together on the weekend. Okay? Lots of love. Good night.